The Love Shack is a little old place where we can get together. Love Shack, baby. Love Shack, baby. I'm having a Corona party, and everybody's invited. But in all seriousness, I don't take the coronavirus very seriously. But better put, I'm not concerned about it. Now, that doesn't mean, however, that I'm going around kissing everybody. I have taken to just blow kisses to everybody. I'm much more worried about an asteroid hitting the Earth. That's what keeps me up at night, and it's actually more likely than a lot of things. Like I read once, statistically you're more likely to die from an asteroid than a car crash. The reason is that when an asteroid hits the Earth, it's going to kill like 1 million people or potentially, 1 billion people. And if that happens once every million years or every, billion years, I don't know the statistics, but statistically, if you, divide 1 billion people by the amount of years, the average that it hits, you are statistically more likely to die from an asteroid. This reminds me of the SARS pandemic that occurred in Toronto where I live way back when. That's when Rolling Stones did their SARS concert. And Justin Timberlake was mocked, rightfully. Those are the days. But, I don't know, like 12 people died. And like more people die in a car crash every day. So let's wait till this gets serious enough to start really panicking. Until then, I don't hold hands with strangers anyways. And I don't go to parties. And right now in Canada, at this moment, there have been 1 death, and 0.4% are my age, and that's like 40 to 49, and younger, it's even less likely. It's mainly like people in their 60s and up, where the percentage starts getting more high. The mortality goes up to, I think, like 4% at the most or something. And I was talking to my friend the other day about it, and she's like, this is so ridiculous how everybody's panicking, like, give me a break. And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, I think it would be funny to buy Corona. And she's like, oh yeah, that's funny. And I'm like, I bet you, like, some people are so stupid that they're, like, afraid to buy Corona beer. And then I saw on Jimmy Kimmel, he says, I watched today, he goes, some people are saying they're afraid to buy Corona beer because they're so uneducated. And then I read the statistic that, like, let me check. I'm not going to check it. But, like, Corona has already lost, I think it was 135 million pounds in England because of this. They really picked the wrong name for their beer, didn't they? So anyways, what prompted this video was that I wrote something about how I'm not worried about the coronavirus on Facebook. And it's getting a bunch of replies. And it's starting to get funny, and I'm making jokes. So I'm going to list some of the jokes, and I'm also going to read some posts from other people on Facebook, and then I'm going to comment in the comment section on this future jokes, because I have a feeling I'm going to think of like 1 million of them, and jokes that other people write, and it's going to be hilarious. And feel free to add your own if you can think of any. Actually, I'll start with reading other people's posts about this subject. Okay, so one guy writes, to all the assholes stocking up on ridiculous amounts of toilet paper, I hope you get the worst case of explosive diarrhea until it's all gone. I wouldn't call them assholes, I'd call them idiots, but, same thing, I guess. Every post is about this, we'll all be dead soon anyway. Another person, holy crap, due to Corona, many Toronto grocery stores are out of toilet paper. This is a really shitty situation, and many people are down in the dumps over this. Let's not take this sitting down. Sell them for $1 a sheet. OMG, stock market crashing. The worst since the Great Recession. Yikes. I gotta say, you know who's really happy right now? This is just me talking. Is Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe I ran out. Maybe it's not everybody. Maybe it's only those few people. Anyway, so I wrote, scientists and all intelligent people should pretend that the coronavirus is coming for Trump unless he resigns. See, my idea here is that, like, Trump doesn't believe in science, right? Because climate change and all that. But the weathermen, like, they warn him when there's... Why does Trump believe science when he's in danger? Well, because he does care about that. So maybe you could get Trump to do anything you want if you convince him that it's science, that it's coming after him. I mean, he must feel powerless against a virus. I mean, he can't brag about how great he is to the virus, right? And he can't lie to the virus. The virus doesn't really care. Oh, interestingly, on that subject, somebody I know, who I'm not going to get too specific, just told me that she gets her hair done at the same hairdresser in Florida that Melania gets her hair done at. And I'm like, doesn't she spend $1 million per haircut? How the hell, why would she go to some regular hairdresser? And that person told me, well, I guess she doesn't. Maybe Trump only gives her like a weekly allowance of like a couple $100. So I wrote so like probably 1 in 10,000 chance of getting this virus, and then a 1 in 1,000 chance of it killing you. I couldn't be less worried. I'm more afraid of how shitty this movie John Wick is going to be. It was shitty, but whatever. If you like the Fast and the Furious, you'd probably love John Wick. Don't really like action movies. So then dude comments on what I wrote and goes, the death rate is 3 in 100. Is it 100? That's what 3% is. But right now it's more like 6% statistically. I heard it is plausible that over the next year it could infect 80% of Canadians. So that's 80 out of 100, potentially. Math is neat. And I guess he was being bitchy. And he goes, so 80%, let's say 70 for good measure, of 37.5 million people is 26 million. 3, let's just say 3, of that is about 780,000. So that's the potential Canadian deaths if we all keep acting like this isn't a big deal, LOL. And again, well, I don't think it is a big deal, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go around making out with strangers. And I wrote, right, but you don't know the number of the potentiality and the plausibility, which is also essential for neat math. And then he goes, true, but my potential plausibility is probably closer than yours. And I wrote, I don't touch people anyway. Oh, and to further neaten the math, the mortality rate is currently 0.4% in my age range. And remember, there is nothing funny about death. And I wrote, and potentially 99.9% of people infected are stupid, and you should never hold hands with strangers. And he goes, or kiss with an open mouth. And I go, I've just been blowing kisses. Oh, but then he makes a really good point. He goes, this is true. Yours or someone not in your age range, whose mortality rate is much greater than that you could potentially infect. That's true. I should be worried about getting it just because I could infect some old person. So there you go. That's a really good point. I never thought of that. I only think about it myself. I'm a lot like Donald Trump. Anyways, that's all. I'm going to write comments if I think of any funny jokes. If people keep commenting, then I'm going to keep commenting on here or on Facebook. If you like gays, click like. If you like blacks, comment. If you like women, click notification bell. If you like gay women, subscribe. And if you like gay black women, Patreon, Human Warnings, give me